Hey there. I'd like to give my own welcome to this amazing summit over this 4-day period. And to let you know, I'm super grateful to be able to have the opportunity to share this information about nutrition that I'm talking about today. I've been in this industry, the health and fitness industry, for over 20 years. And it's changed a hell of a lot. I've transitioned from spending nearly a decade in the military here in the UK to now focusing on working specifically with ladies over the age of 40 who are experiencing trouble going through perimenopausal change and going into the menopause. I'm going to be sharing with you some information about nutrition. I'm going to be sharing with you a quick recipe that is easy to put together, nutritious, and with ingredients I'm sure most of you will have in your house already, but ultimately will have access to. Why do I find it important to share this information? Because it's not just important for ladies over the age of a certain age, not just important for the ladies over the age of 40, because ultimately having a greater depth of knowledge in terms of what healthy eating really is important whether you are 20, whether you are 40, or whether you're 60. Because ultimately, having a positive relationship with food will increase your ability to manage so many other things in terms of your mood state, your digestive state, your ability to have a raised immune system, which is ultimately super important right now, considering what the world is going through and experiencing. So it's not just something to be considered at a later age. One thing that I can share with you is, for myself, I felt pretty much bulletproof in my 20s and to some extent into my 30s in terms of whatever you throw at the body, it's able to deal with. So what do I mean by that? In terms of it's so much easier to balance weight. It's so much easier for your body to deal with anything, the foods and the drink you decide to have, and it doesn't really matter what it is. A little bit of adjustment means that you're very quickly back to where you want to be generally. I know there are people, and some of you may be listening, who have struggled with your weight, self-confidence, self-esteem, and everything related to that for a long period of time. So health and nutrition is not necessarily something to consider once you're past a certain age, but it becomes more evident once you do, because it has a greater impact on your body's ability to stave off illness, to create and boost those happy hormones that we all want to experience and feel, to be able to manage weight, because that leads on to those psychological attachments to health in terms of boosting self-esteem and self-confidence and knowing exactly what to do without lurching from one guess or random search on the internet, seeing it work for a little bit of time, and then it just falls away and you can't maintain it, and then lurch into the next shiny object. I know I've been guilty of moving from one shiny object to the next in my past, that's for sure. But today I want to share with you a recipe that can be put together in less than 15 minutes. And as I said, it will help to create balance within you. Because we all know, I think the majority of people on the planet in the developed world know what we should be avoiding. And we know what we should be eating more of. But it very much comes down to our history of nutrition, our history of exercise, our family environment, people we're exposed to in our youth, experiences we've had with friends, how we interact socially, very much determines the habits that we create later on in life. And it can feel difficult to begin to put in place new habits, new changes that are long lasting. But what I will say and will share to you at the moment is that any habit, any behavior pattern you've got that you want to release from your life can be done, because none of us were born with those habits or behaviors in place. We learned to bring them in over time. And that's exactly the same with lifestyle type choices that we make surrounding our health and our well-being. So let's begin right now and dive in, and I'll share with you a very simple recipe, a creamy prawn and courgette recipe that can be put together very quickly. Hope you enjoy it. We are going to whip up a quick storm in the kitchen, a creamy prawn courgette. Again, really quick. What you'll need is, before you start, so you'll need to toast off, it's 1 tablespoon of pine nuts per person. So I've toasted off 1 tablespoon per person just in this pan. I've chopped 1 white onion, large one, or 2 small ones. Okay. And in there I've got 165 grams, I think it was, in that pack of raw prawns. Good to go. Also, I'll be using my coconut oil as usual. Farhay total. Pesto. Green. 2 large handfuls of spinach. Now you can add more depending on how it looks when we mix it in. And I've spiralized 2 courgettes, so 1 per person. Dead easy. That's all you need. So you need to make sure you've got all those ingredients ready to go. So if you want to pause and then come back to it, then do so. All right. If you're all ready to go, let's stick some heat on. Let's go. So initially, I'm just going to add a tablespoon of coconut oil when the pan's nice and warm. I'll be using a tablespoon to measure out all my stuff. So the only thing I've got to measure out is the Farhay yogurt, the Greek yogurt, pesto, and the oil. Those 3 things. So now the temperature's dropped, my coconut oil gone hard again. Coconut oil into the pan. Okay, now that's done with. So the first thing I'm going to do is just to cook off the prawns. Then I'm going to remove them from the heat. I'm going to do the rest. Then I'm going to add the prawns back in at the end. So this shouldn't take us any more than, I don't know, 10 minutes to cook, 5 minutes to prep, 15 minutes, meal sorted. All right, so remember, 1 tablespoon of pine nuts per person, toasted off. We're going to use 1 tablespoon of Farhay per person and 1 tablespoon of pesto between 2 people. All right, so we've got some heat going on in there. Add those in. They will take minutes to cook. They don't have to be 100% cooked through, because we'll be adding them back in. But do make sure they're cooked through all the way, obviously, before you eat them. Let's turn that baby down a little bit. Oh, what I have forgotten again. I think I did this last time. Got to get the garlic. Everyone loves a bit of garlic. Let me go and grab the garlic. Garlic paste. Dead easy. Dead easy. So they're nearly cooked through already. They don't take long, as you'll probably know. Woo. I'm sure you've all cooked prawns before. So they're pretty much done. Excellent. Stage one. Complete. Stage one done. So back on the heat. Now I'm going to add my onions. Soften those down a little bit. In with the onions. And then I'm going to pop the spinach. Now we all like to spend a little bit more time away from the kitchen, so meals like this are ideal because they don't take very long at all. Let's pop some garlic in. I only use about 2 teaspoons garlic. You can measure it if you want. You can use fresh garlic. I just find this garlic paste really easy to use and really quick. Ooh, hot. So spinach goes in. Starting to smell that garlic come through. Lovely. Won't take long at all for this to wilt down either. So once it's wilted down, you can add some more in if you wish. I think I might. It goes to next to nothing. One more handful. Turn that heat down a little bit. So we're on a medium heat, on a large ring. We're going to be adding into this. So that's wilted down really quickly. We're going to add in quite generous with that. You get a fresh spoon. Into there, I'm going to add a nice rounded tablespoon, smells amazing, of green pesto. Let's come off the heat a little bit while we get this combined. Now you might want to add a splash of water to this. But you shouldn't need to. It's a nice, rich, creamy sauce. Super, super simple. Let's go back on the heat. So I think we're about 2 or 3 minutes away from plating this up. So that's combined nicely. The smell of that basil pesto. Delicious. Delicious. So we're nearly there. Black pepper. Love black pepper. So that would have been around a tablespoon, half a tablespoon, but seasoned to your liking. Delish. Almost there. So let's put that back there. Now that's sizzling away, we're ready. In go the courgettes.
Remember, 1 per person. Now we're ready to add back in our prawns. And we get a different implement. Woo. Just to combine it all together. Let's give myself some more heat. Now we'll do that. You want the pesto, the creamy sauce, to coat all of your courgette. It's a very green dish. I love it. Good, good, good. Sometimes forget myself in the kitchen. I enjoy being in here. It's over there. So all we need to do, add our prawns back in. Perfect. So if you're working away in the kitchen yourself following this, you're probably starting to feel a little bit hungry. I've got a couple of plates in the warming oven, ready to go. So that's it. That is it. Couldn't be simpler. Wrong oven. So you can see it. There's a nice sauce developed at the bottom of that pan. Now we need to make sure these prawns are distributed evenly. But that is it. Prawn, courgette, dish, done. Now what we need to do, we'll just dress it with some pine nuts. That's it. Simple. Simple dish. Simple ingredients. Job done. Prawn, courgette. How long does that take us? Not very long at all. And now we're ready to eat. Enjoy your super quick prawn, courgette, spinach in a creamy basil and Greek yogurt sauce. Enjoy. See you next time. Bye.
Hopefully you found that interesting. Hopefully you found that something that you could see yourself putting together. Now, I know that there are lots of other substitutes for courgette. It's important to understand the reason why the courgette is there is because it's lower in sugars, even though they're natural sugars. So things like spaghetti is a general replacement or original suggestion for that sort of dish, but it brings down those sugar levels, those things that impact our insulin levels. It increases and plays havoc with our hunger hormones. If you wanted to make some changes, it's totally possible. But a spiralizer, for me, is a great addition to my kitchen. Hopefully you enjoyed that. If you have any questions at all, then please feel free to contact me. I'm on all of the necessary, all of the obvious social media platforms, including Facebook, LinkedIn. So please feel free to contact me via that, Stefan Taylor, and fire over any questions you might have. It's been a pleasure sharing this with you. I hope you go on to enjoy the rest of the summit, And who knows, I may be speaking to you very soon. Bye-bye.
It began with a bold vision to build KL Metropolis, a development that would establish a new international trade and exhibition district in Malaysia, built in partnership with the government by NASA Group's property arm, NASA TTDI. The crown jewel of this grand vision is the Malaysia International Trade and Exhibition Centre, the preferred international destination for exhibitions and events. Like the fine gold and silver threads of the Songket weave that inspired its facade design, MyTech is the embodiment of refined craftsmanship, creativity and precision. As Malaysia's largest exhibition centre, MyTech's functional spaces are unprecedented. Primed for exceptional displays, surrounded by state-of-the-art facilities and amenities. This iconic structure affirms a commitment to innovative excellence. It is a showpiece of engineering ingenuity. An enduring icon built for a new Malaysian era of success.